Japanorama.
My name is Shinya Tsukamoto. This is Tokyo.
Tsukamoto-san is the director of Tetsuo, the Iron Man.
Let's get in a cab and go.
I'll never forget the first time I saw Tetsuo back in 1988. I won't say I was disturbed, but let's just say I was still twitching madly several hours later. And those were back in the days when I used public transportation, so you can just imagine the scene. Tetsuo takes place in a world where flesh and metal have merged, and the result is not pretty. Even the sex scenes are thoroughly anti-erotic. For someone like me, who loves technology with a passion, Tetsuo was a long, sharp shock.
Around about that time, there was a movement among writers and film directors called cyberpunk. For instance, Blade Runner by Ridley Scott or Videodrome by David Cronenberg. In my case, I wanted symbolically to depict the modern relationship between humans and technology. Tetsuo was a unification of metal and human flesh. The concept was to express anxieties within me that can't be explained in words. But I also wanted to make something erotic as well.
And what could be more erotic than a spot of DIY?
When a human turns into metal, I suppose his willy becomes metal as well. You see, the female audience gets scared because often women are the victims in horror films. I wanted to use that. This was a kind of parody of the horror genre.
Tsukamoto continued his obsession with man and metal in the 1992 sequel, Tetsuo 2, Body Hammer. He shot this one in colour and threw in, by my reckoning, at least 30% more wires.
Humans and technology are getting ever so closely attached. It feels like technology is part of our brain.
Tetsuo 2 ends when a mutated man-tank destroys Tokyo.
The reason I want to destroy Tokyo, and also why I destroy Tokyo in my films, is I grew up in Tokyo, in an era of massive economic growth in Japan. I grew up in this concrete jungle. As I grew older and older, the buildings got taller and taller. In a sense, I feel quite attached to the skyscrapers. At the same time, though, I feel cramped by this overgrown concrete jungle. I have this desire to destroy Tokyo, this great city, make it back into a plain field, and play in it like I used to. Well, that was Tokyo. I see you later. Tara.
Japanorama.
When you think of sci-fi video games, you might think of the lethal mech warriors of Steel Battalions, or the anime-inspired blaster Gun Valkyrie, or even the wave-influenced Res, in which you create music while you kill. But the surprise hit in Japan is Space Channel 5, in which you have to match an increasingly complex series of dance moves to save you and your pals from alien robots. The creator of Space Channel, as well as Res, is Tetsuya Mizuguchi, Japan's teen idol game designer.
I think the game is it's like the sponge of the human desire.
At Space Channel Jamborees, a real-life version of the curvy Oolala, Space Channel's funky heroine, undulates for fans. Some fans dress as Oolala, checking their J-phones for the latest Oolala news. The object is to push the controller buttons and mimic the rhythms laid down by your robot masters. If you do it well, you save the hostage dancers and they join your team.
Let's dance.
One of Space Channel's biggest fans is a pretty mean dancer himself. Now a part of the game, he actually can heal the world with his space dancing.
We need to save our galaxy, Gulala.
Space Michael is the director of Space Channel 5. So it means he's the boss of Ulala.
Are you ready?
That's really exciting, huh?
Let's dance.
Michael, slide aside for the pop idol of the new millennium, Mitsuguchi-san.
Japanorama.
So what do Japanese manners hold in store for us in the future? Well, I could tell you, but I suspect my friends will get so angry they'd beat you to a pulp. So instead, just remember, to predict the future, you must first understand the present. So here's a Japanese etiquette lesson for you.
This week, we will be looking at how to enter a room. You say "excuse me" outside before you enter, instead of knocking on the door European style. This is to give the person inside the room time to prepare themselves. You should not slide the door all at once. Instead, you should open it slowly, in 2 or 3 stages. If there is no difference in level between entrance and room, you should enter the room from this kneeling position, and that is how to enter a room.